organization, that's the club and the public. So some of the key things you have to pick up in PR is the 5 W's. That is what is the message you are sharing with the public. Why I'm asking why? Because sometimes we just talk about, we had this hospitality, we had this fun thing. Is that what the public wants to hear? Is that what people are talking to want to hear? Then they want to hear about how you serve each community. Remember, if we had the RI president when he came to visit, and I'm part of the Rotary PR committee. And one of the emphasis was not on the president visiting Uganda, but on the cancer ward. That was the main thing we were going to take to the newspapers, to the media out there. That is what they want to hear about, how you're going and rubber-dabbing each other, or they want to hear about what you are doing, how are you selling each other. It's important that you actually know what. Then who you're spreading the message to, who we are communicating this information to. Many times we are focusing on just putting PR directors, just put information on the Rotary Gmail. But then, is that going to reach the workmates at work? Is that going to reach other masses out there? Maybe the message you have is only actually for those people. But is it enough to sell Rotaract, just focusing on only the members and the other Rotaractors around? What about focusing on who the other people out there? How? That's another W. How you spread the messages. Yes, we talked about mail. We have a very big advantage called social media. Facebook, Twitter. If I can't right now, I don't have enough time to go into the details of that, but there is so much advantage you can get from using all those. Google Plus. Are we selling our club out there? Are we following up on how many people are following up? If we have a club page, I was told Rubaga has a club page. Do you know how many people are actually following? If my friend have about 1,000 people, that means those 1,000 people are actually reading about Rubaga and what's going on. Those are advantages of using social media. That's how. How still that social media, we have the media. I don't know why I'm not taking advantage of the media, but the media is a very strong place for us. The problem with us is we are not focusing on what the media wants to hear. It's very important because if there's information you can share in the news, and you know it will sell. The radios, the TVs, you know, they always ask for activities, what events are coming up on Sanyo. What's so hard about just going and sharing your club projects with them and they can read them? I've had CESI several times do that. When they have a bazaar or whatever, you always hear about it on radio. That come and join the Rotary Club of Sisters. That way you're selling Rotary and then you're inviting the public to our events. We need to actually take more use of that media. I can give you more information on the media when I get time, but you can approach me individually. Then, when still comes with how, when the timing is right. You're not going to start talking about a blood donation you did 10 years ago when it's not really relevant right now. And what is the most effective means to transport this information? So I wanted to go back to the basically PR. We're talking about the club. I want to just borrow your marker a bit. It still talks with who? We have the club name. This is the club. And we have the partners. Now I'm looking at our stakeholders. And in these partners, we have the other Rotary clubs, the Rotary clubs, our club members. However, that should be another key element on its own. Because if there's no club without members, if your members are not attending your club events, they are not participating, they are not contributing, they are not coming for fellowship, then really what kind of club is that? So PR, before you even go to beyond that, you start with your members. And as I talked about bonding, we talked about, I don't know, a lot more. Then of course we have the financiers and donors. And then we have the beneficiaries. Basically, when whoever is in charge of PR or the whole club, we have a responsibility of actually making sure we transport information to all these different groups of people. These are our key stakeholders in whatever activity we have. But if we just focus on just we're all focusing on our partners, we want to focus on our members, and then tomorrow you want to go to MTN and you're trying to convince them to sponsor your volleyball challenge, and yet you could not even share with them the project. They didn't know that on TV this thing was even covered. It would be easier for you to convince them if you actually use your PR and actually get to these finances. Keep them updated. Write to them. You know, there are small things. Even when you know the MD personally, once now on his birthday, surprise him and send him a birthday message as a club, a card. That is PR. A little bit now on branding. Branding is actually a form of PR, because branding is labeling. It's how you communicate. It's a form of communication. If you remember when we used to go to school, they would put for us on our bedsheets when we were in primary school, write your name there, Joseph Finale, that's who I am. Because branding is not only the name, but that's the first start as the name of the club. I've always, when I joined Rotaract, when I first heard about Mwekuume, there is a particular image actually expectation I had out of Mwekuume. I don't know if we still have activities which are supporting our name of Mwekuume. I don't know, I can't talk about that, but personally I haven't. Unfortunately, PR on that is a bit quiet, so I haven't heard about. The way I'm thinking of Mwekuume, I'm remembering keeping ourselves, you know? Yeah. So,
abstinence.
that is a title, and it's something we should live with, and, you know, make sure everyone who sees Chambog and Vaga together, they have that essence of Mwekuume. Then we have Rotaractors. You guys, we are representing Rotaract. We are representing Rotary International. The way we carry ourselves out there, our image really counts. What kind of message do we want to pass out there? The way we behave, that is how we are communicating. That's how we are titling ourselves, how we are branding ourselves as the young generation. Because if someone says, actually I was in Rotary Club of Rubaga, and we're talking about Raila, and the Rotarian says, for us we can't invite our children to join Rotaract or Raila because of the bad manners they do there, right? And I kept thinking, oh my God, this is actually the kind of image we are giving out there. That's the kind of brand of people we have become. I don't know, we are adults, honestly. If you go to a school secretariat, I don't know why you can't just hire a hotel and stay there instead of going to have sex in a corner or something. I'm sorry for saying it out loud. But our image really counts. When we left that school, did we leave a position like, oh my God, the young youth under Rotary and Rotaract, we are here, you know? Image, branding, how we brand ourselves counts. That's one in our behaviors. Then also in the things they are the obvious, the visuals. We have a club project, and you do not have a banner up there. You're not even wearing club t-shirts. You're just many youth doing something. You have not even bothered to try and get the media on board even, but you're just doing things. So how we will know who you are? Because if we're doing all these things and we are not trying to sell, we're not using it to sell our clubs, sell our personalities, we're just doing. I don't know how many people here have lapel pins. That's a very tiny thing, but believe me, it has taken me places. I didn't wear it because I'm wearing a Rotary t-shirt already, and it was very intentional. I actually have many of them in my handbag right now. But but not these small pins, it's our level. I don't know why we are leaving them behind. So we have to have our identity. Let's stand out there. And even the way you choose your things, if you're choosing your t-shirts, are you choosing some white and having the label somewhere behind there? Or are you choosing something that stands out? I'll give an example. Of course, at my club, we have the red for this year. And then we have that big tight at the back, anything for the core. Now I'm going into two different topics there. That red really stands out wherever we are. But then also that title of anything for the core. Now it's reaching out to the members. In case you wonder why many, the few times you find core members at an event, there are many. They have this thing of teamwork. We are moving together, anything for the core. I believe many other clubs have also things with slogans like that. Natete, there is where it all happens. Sometimes they have hard nuts attended. And you know, they actually were there in big numbers and you felt their impact. That's part of branding, that's part of PR. So it's important that you know what you want to communicate. How do you want to image be your club? There is a club when we have these competitions. They usually like to name themselves, their team, they name it the Chowers. And Of course, it's okay. Maybe that's the image they want to portray. You know, these things we take them for granted. But you've named your club that showers or that sex space, so anything weird, right? And then maybe there's a big company there. I'm just giving an example of an effect of the name. There's a big company there, and they're like, which club is that? And then maybe you tell them Rotary Club of... yeah, say Rotary Club of Kampala. Then 2 weeks later, we go and write a proposal. We are requesting for money, and they're like, wasn't that the club which were calling themselves the sex pets? So that's a small thing, but it is affecting your club. Branding. How you brand, you should also be able to encourage your members and bring them together. You've got to have identity as a club. I don't know, how many minutes do I have? There's something I need to do. Okay. 2. Oh. Okay. 5. Okay. In these 5 minutes, I actually, you guys have been quiet, and I really don't like talking alone. So I want to do something very small. I have 4 questions I need answered. So I will have these 3 guys here at the front answering the first one, which is ideas on branding. Then I'll have Isaac, the lady, and Jane with Joe. I want you to write, discuss together. Ronald will write them. What we are not doing enough in our clubs in terms of PR. And then this group here, that's up to there, we'll write what activities we are doing in our clubs, that we are doing in our clubs in PR and branding. Write them down quickly. We're going to have only 3 minutes for that, so that we can present.